I don't know what I've done to deserve all this attention from Kent Hovind, but he's made yet another episode of Whacking Atheist about little old me. So let's see what this bonehead has got to say about me today.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald f***.
Please subscribe. Right, here we go.
Joseph, as I put slides together for Creepy, it looked like he's toning down a little bit.
Oh.
Some of his weird looks, maybe for the new video he made about me. Watch the difference here. There's the newest one. The hula hoops are gone out of the ears, or whatever they call those things.
They call them gauges, Kent, or plugs. Not butt plugs or ear plugs, but not the kind that make you not sure. Doesn't matter.
So, Creepy, I discovered the ultimate goal of where you're headed with all this piercings and stuff. The goal to roadmap to beauty. There she is.
Do you know, Kent, if you've got nothing, if you're not going to debunk me, wouldn't it have just made more sense to not make this video? Now, don't misunderstand me. I enjoy responding to this type of content just as much as I enjoy debunking creationists or debunking flat earthers. But Kent, all you've done, and we've heard like 5 seconds, 20, I don't know, we haven't heard much from you, but you've said nothing other than a critique of my appearance. People don't want to know about my sense of fashion.
Why would somebody do that?
I agree
anyway,
with you,
Creepy,
Ken.
I appreciate your putting me on your show again. Your people got to hear some good knowledge there. Let's see. Let me play a little bit of Creepy.
From me, they got to learn some good knowledge, not from you, Kent. All they got to see you do is repeat what I said. I bet he does it in this one as well.
He just doesn't get it, folks. I'm trying to help him. Really, he's from Wales. I preached over there. You got some sinners over there. I'd like to get you converted. I really would.
Kent, it's never going to happen. If that's the object of the exercise, we may as well end this video now, because it is never going to happen. There is nothing on the face of this earth. There is no amount of money that would make me buy into anything anybody like you says, especially you, because you're just not a very nice man. But the difference is you replace "we don't know" with "God did it." Yep.
So he said about the Big Bang, we don't know. And I say, well, God did it. Not the Big Bang, but... So you're missing your point completely here, Creepy.
I think you were the one who's missing a point, Kent, because that is just the God of the Gap arguments. We can say that we know a lot about how we ended up here and how the universe became what it is today. But when we don't know, one sort of element of that, we can confidently say that we just don't know, and it's fine to not know. You feel the need to say God did it, which is just the God of the Gap arguments. Grow up and get a life.
You just now confessed that you don't know, therefore you believe the Big Bang did it.
No. Belief has got nothing to do with it. Me saying I don't know just means I don't know. How could you possibly interpret that as I believe?
That's a religion. You believe it. I don't care. Keep whatever religion you want, but quit calling it science.
And I don't care which religion you keep either. Just stop trying to ram it down the throats and up the arses of anyone who listens to you.
That's my whole point. This evolution isn't science. It's a religious belief.
No, that is such a stupid thing to say. Stupid, diddly-oopid. Like you, Kent.
Let him talk for a minute here. Okay.
Else? What do you mean else? You haven't told me nothing yet.
See what I mean? Dickhead.
If I told you that I believe God created the heaven and the earth like the Bible teaches, you're going to say, and where did God come from?
I am sorry. Did I say victims? I do apologize. I meant to say followers. Look at his face. He's starting to get angry, and I'm loving it. Imagine somebody trying to use a map from 1985 to navigate their way around a city today. Pay attention, Kent. You might learn something. They'd get lost fast because the world has changed, and science is no different. But Kent Hove...
Wait. Creepy. So science changes?
Yes.
So could it be when they changed from everybody believing in the creator to everybody, not majority believing?
Shut your pie-hole. That's not what science is, Kent. You're already misrepresenting me.
Keeping in this evolution. Maybe it needs to change again. Is that okay?
Yes, science is meant to change. That's kind of the whole point of science. I thought you taught science, Kent, which I suspect means you used to speak about it in your church, which does not make you a science teacher. It makes you a narrow-minded imbecile who buys into every word of the Bible literally.
Will you consider that? Maybe it needs to change one more time. Back to where it started.
And it will change. Hovind is still using the same map.
You guys believe
Still using the same map because it's true.
No, you're still using the same map because you're a wrinkly old turd who hasn't progressed in his understanding of science. Not that you ever had an understanding of science in the first place, because the second you bring the Bible into a scientific argument or a scientific disagreement, call it what you will, you've already lost.
You know, when I was a kid, I learned 2 + 2 is 4.
Ooh.
Guess what? Still is.
I know.
I doubt it's ever going to change.
No,
The
it
creepy
won't.
God created the world. That's never going to change.
So you accused me of believing earlier on. That's what that is. You believe God created the world, which is fine, but keep it to yourself. Nobody cares.
20 billion years ago there was a big bang where nothing exploded and produced everything?
No, we don't, you cupid stunt. Now I could pretend to be.
You don't believe the Big Bang came from nothing exploding. Don't
No.
you said? Let me see here. Okay, let's go to here.
That's not the Big Bang,
You
Kent.
don't. Let's see.
That's not either.
From
That's
his
me.
show just a couple days ago. Kent Hovind telling the same lie for 40 years.
Yeah, and there'll be another one tonight if you can stop waffling long enough for me to make this video.
I said you guys believe there was a Big Bang where nothing exploded.
No, we don't believe there was a Big Bang when nothing exploded. Let's clear that up. We accept that the Big Bang is the current scientific consensus on the origins of the universe and Earth and humanity and all the animals, and call it what you will. But what we do not believe, Kent, before you say it, is that everything like this mouse and this beaker were all crammed into the singularity. The ingredients were there, not the stuff.
Let's see what the textbook says. Evolution textbook. Right over on my shelf. That one. I don't know what cabinet that one's in. Okay. Hey, come on in, folks. Have a seat.
More people there to clap for Kent and tell him he's doing a great job. What a pussy.
Current universe came into existence 14 billion years ago through an explosion. They use the word explosion. Creepy.
Yeah,
I thought
I know.
it was rapid
it's-
expansion.
Stop. Shut up, Kent. Shush. Let the grown-ups talk. The reason they call it an explosion is because a Catholic priest coined the term the Big Bang, which isn't accurate anyway. Yes, it was big, but there wasn't a bang. It was not an explosion. I've told you this time after time after time. Read a book that isn't the Bible, Kent. It was a rapid expansion, not an explosion.
Can you believe they say that? It goes from a dot the size of an atom to bigger than the galaxy.
See, now that's the problem. Yes, that is what we say, Kent. It happened incredibly quickly. But that doesn't mean it's fake. It just means you can't wrap your tiny little creationist brain around it. Therefore, God did it. You'll notice a pattern. Anything Kent can't explain to fit in with his ideas about the Bible being a literal book, he just says God did it.
In a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second. And that's not an explosion. It's a rapid expansion.
Yep, something like that it was.
So really, the stars aren't getting farther apart. The space between them is expanding.
Exactly. So if you know, why do you keep saying it wrong?
I'm going to use that when I get pulled over by a cop. I was not speeding, sir. The space between me and my home was expanding.
Kent, shut up again. You made the same joke in the last video and it wasn't funny that time. Dickhead.
Okay, let's see. From an infinitely dense point. Creepy, what would that be? Infinitely dense?
Well, it would be an accurate description of you, Kent, because you are infinitely dense. I have never seen one man get so many things wrong in such quick succession.
That'd be really heavy.
Heavy.
Okay, here we go. Ask Ethan, how did the entire universe come from nothing? Perhaps, according to cosmic inflation, our leading theory of the universe pre-Big Bang origins, it really did come from nothing. Creepy, this is what your heroes are saying.
They're not my heroes, are they, you dickhead? They are just the top scientists in their field, whereas you are the bottom scientist. Well, you're even below that. These pieces of information come from people who have dedicated more or less their entire life to studying the topic. And then you've got clowns like you calling them liars because you're butthurt that you no longer get to say God did it. Well, you'll always say God did it because you're an idiot.
About Lawrence Krauss. The idea that the universe arose from nothing is the central theme of Lawrence Krauss's book. Wow.
So all you've done then, Kent, because you can't use just simple, straightforward science to debunk any of the points I make when I respond to your videos, absolutely destroying you and highlighting how much of a dick muncher you are. Dick muncher. You've gone looking deliberately for a book or a paper that has the words explosion and what else is in there? Oh yeah, nothing is the central theme in Lawrence M. Krauss's book. Big deal. When was it written, Kent? 1742? You know, around the time you were born?
It argues that modern physics, quantum mechanics, and cosmology suggest a universe could emerge from a state of nothing through natural processes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how that works.
And I'd like to see how a human being created from a handful of dirt off the ground works, Kent. But I'm not going to get to see that, so you're probably never going to get to see how the universe actually began. And seeing as you seem completely incapable of accepting, you know, the scientific consensus, we're just going to be going round and round like a hamster on a wheel forever.
The nothing is not an absolute void, but refers to the absence of space, time, matter, and energy, yet still governed by physical laws. Mm-hmm. So the nothing was governed by laws. Am I missing something here?
Yeah, you are. You're missing any formal scientific education, Kent. Like I say, read a book.
I'm onto something. Okay. Steve.
Yeah, you're on something. That's 100. That's a given. You get no argument from me on that.
Stephen Hawking proposed the universe could have spontaneously created itself.
Proposed, Kent. Do you hear that word, proposed? It was an idea. It was a thought from one of the most intelligent men ever to, I was going to say walk the face of the earth, but sorry, Stevie, baby.
From nothing. Creepy. You need to study your heroes, okay?
No, I
Let's see.
don't.
How did the universe come from nothing? States that Hawking said, because there is a law such as gravity, the universe can and will create itself from nothing.
Now, the word hypocrite gets thrown around a lot in this sort of debunking niche, but that's all Kent is. He's done exactly what I suspected he was going to do. He's gone looking for references to the word nothing or the word explosion, because he knows deep down that there is absolutely no way he can prove me wrong about any of the things I say, which is why he always picks apart my appearance and why he just calls me creepy blind man instead of using my name, Creaky. Not creepy, Creaky.
Wikipedia, a universe from nothing.
Oh yeah, Wikipedia, genius move, Kent. Wikipedia is known as being the most accurate and reliable place to gain scientific knowledge.
Why is there something rather than nothing is a non-fiction book by physicist Lawrence Krauss. No, it's fiction.
Now, if you want to talk about books which are fiction, let's talk about the Bible.
February 10th, 2012, Free Press. Let's see. The main theme of the book is the claim that we have discovered that all signs suggest a universe that could and plausibly did arise from a deeper nothing.
Okay, so that's your assessment of a scientific book which got written at some point in history. Does it say in there when? No, it doesn't, but it doesn't matter anyway. But let's talk about the Bible and how unbelievable some of the things that appear in the Bible are. A man being created from a handful of dirt, his girlfriend being created from one of his ribs, a talking burning bush, an old age pensioner part in the Red Sea, which I always thought was some sort of euphemism, but clearly I was wrong. So yeah, which book contains the most fiction, Kent?
Am I reading that right?
No.
Let's see. Did the universe really come from nothing? That's just a few months ago, creepy. Let's see. Prove Genesis. How about a universe from nothing, the ultimate free lunch? Whoa. That would be Stephen Hawking in the wheelchair there. Okay. Let's see. How could the universe come from nothing? A couple of months ago.
Kent, all you were doing is highlighting the fact that what I said earlier on is true. In science, It's fine to not know. These are just, I don't know, thought experiments. These are just people trying to interpret scientific data.
Something come from nothing. There's all kinds of videos about this. Let's see. Preposterous Universe. A Universe from Nothing by Shane Carroll or Sean Carroll or Cian Carroll, whatever you pronounce it. Okay. So modern physics has given us two ideas, both of which are interesting, and both of which resonate with our informal notion of coming into existence out of nothing.
Yeah, but they're not interesting when you read them, Kent. I promise you. And the fact that I'm sat at the wrong machine recording this video is getting to me big time, because I can't even fast forward through your waffle. I have to endure it. I hope you're enjoying this video, people, because it was painful to make.
Creepy. You do believe that? I know it's embarrassing. You should be.
How can you possibly know what I believe? You can't. It's impossible. Now, I know what you believe because you love to tell people, but you don't know what I believe. You don't know what my values are. You're just guessing.
A Universe from Nothing from wall.org. Let's see. Lawrence Krauss will present a mind-bending trip back to the beginning of the beginning of the end of the end. What?
The beginning of the beginning of the end of the end. Okay?
The beginning of the end. Sorry. Let's see. Big think. 70-year-old quantum prediction comes true as something is created from nothing.
Well, you should love that then, Kent, because that is exactly what you believe. No, in fact, it's worse for you because you believe that nothing created something from nothing. If you follow my logic there, God being the nothing, because there is absolutely no evidence to support the existence of any gods. Really?
In our common experience, you can't get something from nothing. In the quantum realm, something really can emerge from nothing.
Well, you like to try and get something for nothing, Kent, don't you? Which is why you pay your employees such a pitiful sum.
Wow. Okay, let's see here. Whoever said you can't get something from nothing must never have learned quantum physics. As long as you have empty space...
Now, Ken, you do have empty space between your ears. And you already believe that something came from nothing because you believe that God did it.
Just that's not nothing. The ultimate in physical nothingness. Simply manipulating it. Manipulating what? In the right way will inevitably cause something to emerge. Collide two particles. Wait. That's not starting with nothing, is it? Starting with two particles.
And that's what I mean. We don't believe that everything we see today was crammed in there. It was things like particles, the ingredients.
Are you stupid or something? I like that, Forrest Gump.
You would, because you sound like him.
You can't fix stupid.
I know, Kent. I do try to, but you're just so resistant to it. Oh, are you going to make merch? Will it be as good as my Cupid stunt merch, though I seriously doubt it?
You can't fix stupid, but you can numb it with a 2x4. They say you...
Was that a threat? A veiled threat?
Can't fix stupid. You can, but it's illegal in most countries.
So is harboring a paedophile, Kent, but that doesn't stop you, does it? I'm not paying your taxes.
You can't fix stupid, but you can sedate it. Who says you can't fix stupid?
Kent, the whole thing with the joke is you say it once and then let people think about what you said, and then some will find it funny, some won't. You don't keep repeating the same joke multiple times.
Can't fix stupid, but you can watch it in action on Facebook and YouTube every day. Okay?
And at Dinosaur Adventureland, evidently. Now, there's a whole heck of a heap of a lot more to this video from Kent, so if you want a part 2, I'll make it. If not, well, I'll be completely honest, I hadn't considered that option. Now, for those of you who've been paying attention, you will have noticed that I'm trying out a new style of presenting. And for the most part, the feedback has been really positive and supportive. But I feel like I should briefly explain to you what it is I'm trying to do. Now, I realized one day last week that you only ever get to see my responses. You never actually see my reaction to the things people like Kent Hovind and Mikey Smith say.
Bullshit with a capital bull shit.
So that's what this is. I'm trying to create a hybrid between commentary, which I've always done, and reaction. And if people like it, it means I can make way more videos for you, if you want them anyway. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and like the smash button. Love you. Bye. And as for you, Ken, well, I hope you stand on a plug with no shoes on.
He's a useless shite, that boy.